Good morning, dears. Today we are going to take a grammar lesson and it will be in your book on page 161. Our grammar lesson is called the present simple tense. Regarding the present simple tense, we will talk about a couple of issues in order to understand it more so we could be able to solve our exercises. So what we are going to talk about, let's see. The first one we have to explain, so it's the definition of the present simple tense. Then we will go to the form of it. How can we make a sentence that is in the present? After that, we are going to talk about the use of the simple present tense, and then we will take the keywords regarding it, some notes, and last but not least, we will solve an exercise regarding it. So now, let's all go to our books and open to page 161 in order to see where our grammar lesson is placed in the student book. So go to your student book on something called the grammar reference on page 161. Now we are going to start explaining our lesson in order to understand it, and then we will have a quick revision to it so we could solve our exercise which is placed on the board. The first thing that I need you to know is the definition of the present simple. The definition here of the present simple, the simple present tense describes an action that happens regularly. What do I mean by that? I mean by that is the action that I am doing, I do it regularly. I do it from time to time. And we will discuss regarding time when we come to the keywords. Now, we'll go to the form. How can I form the present simple tense? Let's see. We know that in English we have three forms, which are affirmative, negative, and the interrogative or the question form. So let's talk about them step by step. We'll start with the affirmative. With the pronouns I, you, we, they, the verb stays in the base form when it comes to the present simple tense. And as an example regarding that, I play tennis. Now, we go when we have the pronouns he, she, it. It takes the verb, but we have to add to the verb either s, es, or ies regarding the last letter of the verb. Such as she plays tennis, we added s. Now we go to the negative form. In the negative form, in the simple present tense, we have to use the auxiliary verb اللي هو الفعل المساعد do with I, you, we, they, or does with he, she, it, plus not plus the verb. So the form will be I, you, we, they, plus do, plus not, plus the verb in the base form, or he, she, it, plus does, plus not, plus verb in the base form also. Why we put the verb in the base form? Because the do took the s from the verb and became does. That's why. An example regarding this form, I do not, or the short form of it, I don't play tennis. She does not or she doesn't play tennis. Now we go to the interrogative form or the question form. We have two types of questions, which are the yes-no question and the WH question. And the one which is in our book is regarding the yes-no question. Also, we need to use the auxiliary verb do with I, you, we, they, or does with he, she, it. So here, let's take a look at the form. Do plus I, you, we, they plus the verb in the base form. Does plus he, she, it plus also the verb in the base form. An example regarding our rule. Do you play tennis? Yes, I do, or no, I do not. Does she play tennis? Yes, she does, or no, she doesn't. Just for your information, I would like to add the WH words and the WH question. So the form will become WH word, which are who, what, where, when, why, how, plus do or does regarding our pronoun, plus the subject, plus the verb, and it has to be in the base form. Who is used for a person, للأشخاص. What is used for information and things, للمعلومات والأشياء. Where is used for place. When is used for time, الوقت. Why is used for reason, سبب, and how is used for manner, الحال. And here are a couple of examples regarding them. Who do you play tennis with? With my friends. What does she play? She plays tennis. Where do they play tennis? At the park. When does he play tennis? In the evening. Why do they play tennis? Because it is healthy. How do we play tennis? With a pad. So we have to differentiate that. The yes-no question, you have to give an answer with yes or no, and the WH words or the WH questions are questions to give me information regarding the WH word. After we are done with explaining the form, we will go to the use. Why do I use the simple present tense? And we will get the use from our book because it is explained better. Okay, so now we go the use. Let me place. Okay, we use the present simple form. So this is the use. Number one, facts or general truths. Facts, حقائق, or general truths. Horses eat grass and other plant material. This is an example. Use number two, which is routines or habits. Something that you do regularly. هي عادة معينة أو روتين معين أنت بتقوم فيه. Often with adverbs of frequency. We need to know what are the adverbs of frequency in order to use them while I am writing my sentence. So here we have an example. Oliver wears a uniform to school. Oliver wears a uniform to school. We know that Oliver always goes to school and that he has to wear a uniform for that school. Use number three, which is permanent states. Permanent states. حالات إيش بتكون دائمة. زي هنا we live in the country. إحنا عايشين في البلدة. We live in the country. And the last use, which is timetabled events in the future. So a plan that has a specific time in the future. And an example regarding it, the flight to London leaves at 9 a.m. on Sunday. So I am giving you a specific time, and this time is in the future. So imagine that we are on Saturday, and the plane will leave to London, or the flight will leave to London at 9 a.m. on Sunday. So this is a future plan. This is a future plan. تمام. Now we're done with the definition, the form, and the use of the simple present tense. And now we'll go to the keywords. What does keyword mean? The keyword, if we find it in the sentence, إذا بنشوفها بالجملة، هاي بدلنا على إنه هذا الحدث صار بالوقت الحاضر. The present simple tense. Let's see. Note. Please follow up with me regarding your books. Some common time expressions that are often used with the present simple are every with a time expression. So every day, every week, every month, every summer, or every other day. يعني يوم يوم لا. Also, we have once, twice, 3 times. So here we have once a week, twice a month. At the weekend is another keyword. In January, so with months, all right? In the morning, afternoon, evening, at night. So the periods of the day. الفترات بالنهار الواحد برضو اللي هم morning, afternoon, evening, at night. On Tuesdays برضو بأيام الأسبوع. On Friday mornings. And here we can notice that there is an S, so it is every Tuesday. I didn't say just one Tuesday, no, I said on Tuesday, so it's every, لأنه إشي متكرر. It is a repeated action, it is a habit. Alright? And on Friday mornings برضو حطينا إنه في صباحات أيام الجمعة, etc. And we have an example in here. Jennifer spends time with her friends at the weekend. Now, you have to remember something regarding the adverbs of frequency. What are they? We often use adverbs of frequency with the present simple. They tell us, okay, how often something happens. How often يعني إيش الفترة اللي بيحدث فيها الحدث. They come before the main verb. قبل الفعل الرئيسي. But after the verb to be. يعني إذا في عندك الverb be اللي هم am و is و are in the present هم أو the adverb of frequency اللي هم عبارة عن أحوال تكرار بيجوا بعد الام والis والare. Here we have an example. Sally often watches TV. هنا بنلاحظ إنه often هي one of the adverbs of frequency and it came before the main verb. Tom is rarely at home. Rarely is one of the adverbs of frequency and it came after the verb to be, which is is, because we have the name Tom. Some common adverbs of frequency are from most often, الأكثر إشي اللي هي 100% to the least often. خلينا نشوفهم. We have always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, hardly, ever, seldom اللي هم دول مع بعض, and never. Now we're done with the keywords, but we have some notes that we have to take into consideration when it comes to the present simple tense. So let's go back to the notebook and see what are those notes. Note number 1. If the verb ends with a Y and after, so if the Y became after a vowel, we just add S. such as play, plays. If the Y comes after a consonant, we change the Y to I and we add S. So it becomes worry, worries, study, studies. Note number 2. Note number 2. If the verb ends in the following letters, we add ES. What are those letters? CH, SH, SO, X, Z. Such as do, it will become does. We added ES. Wash, washes. Fuss, tax, fizz, max, fax. I'll become faxes, maxes, fizzes, taxes, fusses. Note number 3. If the main verb become as a have or has, we put have with I, you, we, they plus have, such as I have a dog. And if it comes with he, she, it, we replace have to a has, so it will become plus has. And an example regarding it, she has a dog. Now we'll talk about the verb be. Be, if it comes as a main verb, in the present it will be am, is, are. In the affirmative form, I plus am. I am a doctor. You, we, they plus are. They are doctors. He, she, it plus is. She is a doctor. In the negative form, we have to add not to am or is or are. I plus am plus not will become I am not a teacher. You, we, they plus are plus not, we are not teachers. He, she, it plus is plus not, she is not a teacher. Now we'll talk about another verb, which is do. Do as a main verb. I, you, we, they plus do, and it'll, as an example, I do my homework daily. He, she, it حكينا إنه لازم الاس okay تروح على do, so it will become does. She does her homework daily. This is in the affirmative form. In the negative form, I, you, we, they plus do plus not plus do, okay, because here we have, why do we have two verbs which are do? أول وحدة اللي هي عبارة عن الفعل المساعد, the auxiliary verb, يعني هنا بده يكون هون مساعد, وهنا this is the main verb اللي حكينا إنه هو بده يكون معنا الأصلي. so إيش الجملة بتصير عنا؟ I don't do my homework daily. That's why we placed two verbs اللي هي بالدو. واحدة منهم هي عبارة عن الauxiliary verb الفعل المساعد, والثاني هو عبارة عن المين verb. He, she, it plus does plus not plus do. She doesn't do her homework daily. And we'll go to the question part. Do I, you, we, they plus do. Do you do your homework daily? Yes, I do, or no, I don't. Does he, she, it plus do. Does she do her homework daily? Yes, she does, or no, she doesn't. Here, we are done now with our explanation regarding the present simple tense. Let's have a quick review regarding it. The present simple tense. Let's talk about the definition. It describes an action that happens regularly. So it's a permanent action. Permanent action. Now we go to the form of it, and we said that we have three forms in English: the affirmative, the negative, and the question. The affirmative, the verb stays in the base form when it comes with I, you, we, they, and we add s or es or ies to the verb when it comes with he, she, it. Now we go to the negative form. We have to use the auxiliary verb اللي هو الفعل المساعد do in order to form our sentence. So the rule will become do plus not plus the verb in the base, and does plus not plus the verb, and it will return to its base because the s here, the do here took the s from the verb, so it will be in the base form. And we talked also regarding the use of the present simple tense, and we said that they are for facts and general truths, routines or habits, permanent states, permanent شايفين إشي دائم, timetable events, and future. Your keywords are stated in your book واللي إحنا شرحناهم, and we talk also regarding some notes and I explained them from the notebook in the explanation. And now we will go to solve our exercise, which is placed here, and the question is correct the verb. Number 1, she English daily. So here I have a keyword which is daily, and I have the verb which is speak, that I have to correct it in order for our sentence to be correct. So if I have she, it means that I have to add an s or es or ies regarding the last letter of our verb. And here it came as a k, so we just add s. So the sentence will become she speaks English daily. Number 2, I have a question and I have the pronoun you. So I have to use the auxiliary verb do. So I place it at the beginning of the sentence, and I have to put the verb in the base form because I have you. So the question will become, do you practice sports every week? Sentence number 3, I have he and meet, and I have the verb eat, and it is in the negative form. So I have to use the auxiliary verb do, and because the sentence starts with a he, I have to add to do the s. So our sentence will become the answer, he doesn't eat meat. Sentence number 4, he and I have a scientist. My verb is be, and we said that be becomes am, is, or are in the present simple tense. So here, because I have he takes the is, so our sentence will become he is a scientist. Sentence number 5, they doctors, and I have the verb be, and it's in the negative because I have not. So our sentence will become, or the answer for sentence number 5 is they are not doctors. Here I have also placed the frequency adverbs, alright, from 100% اللي هو most of the time or all of the time احنا بنسويه to the 0%, which is never. And let's have a look again at our adverbs of frequency. We have always, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, hardly ever or seldom and never. هنا احنا حاطينهم بالتسلسل ما بين الأكثر حدوثا من 100% لحديث الأقل حدوثا اللي هي 0%. هيك بنكون برضو احنا عملنا revision لا our lesson for today which is the present simple tense. هذا هو القسم الأول من الجرامر اللي معانا بهاي الوحدة. okay. The second section will be regarding the present continuous which will be the next class, and then I will give you a homework that you have to handle on education when we are done with the second part of our lesson for grammar or regarding grammar. You guys have a nice weekend. Stay safe. Thank you, and please study that video more than one time. If you have any question, do not hesitate to ask me, okay, on EduNation. And one more thing, yeah, I will be placing a couple of files in order to copy on your notebook. اللوح هذا أنا راح أكون مصوره عشان اوكي تكتبوا الاشياء اللي عليه، واذا في النوتس لانهم مش مكتوبين بكتابكم، اوكي مكتوبين عندي على النوت بوك، برضه بصور لكم اياهم علشان يكونوا عندكم وعلشان تستفيدوا منهم لما نيجي بدنا نحل. Have a nice day. Stay safe. Thank you for your time. Bye bye.